I want to add that I've added the most important thing in this list to the very end. Today, I want to talk about a specific kind of stress, not the kind that comes from a deadline or a difficult conversation or something that you can fix by taking action, but rather something that is outside of your control, something that you cannot fix with your actions. I've been living with this kind of stress for 4 years now because of the war in Ukraine, and everyone here has been living with it. And so I guess many people have many ways of coping with such a stress. And today I want to share what helps me. So this is not going to be like a wellness advice. This is going to be something that has helped, not in theory, but in practice. So let's go. Long exhales. The first is almost too simple to share it, but I'll share it anyway because it has helped me so many times and it's quite simple to do. So, when our nervous system is activated, when you are scared or overwhelmed, or when your heart is racing, exhales are what brings you back, not the inhales. There is a physiological reason for this. The exhale activates our parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest system. So, a long, slow exhale tells your body to slow down, that the danger has passed, and you can exhale and calm down now. Breathe in for 4 counts and breathe out for 8. So, the inhale should be deep but short, and the exhale should be as long as you can possibly manage to make it. I know this works because I've tested it in the shitty circumstances more times than I can remember. Basically, every night during these last 4 years, when we woke up from the sound of explosion and from our building windows and everything literally trembling or shaking, you know, when you wake up in the middle of the night from something like sudden, but also add the feeling of danger that comes with the realization that this is not just thunder. Okay, so it feels really unpleasant. You wake up and your heart is racing and it just feels like you cannot stop shaking, for example. So when you do long exhales at such a moment, they're really helping you to calm down your nervous system. Believe me, I've tried it. It works. You have to try it maybe a few times, but usually I do at least 4 long exhales and they help me calm down significantly. So, you know, if it works at 3 a.m. after an explosion, it will definitely help you in whatever you are facing. So try it. It's really easy to do and doesn't require anything of you. So give it a shot. The next one is Wim Hof breathing method. When the stress is accumulating over time or when the long exhales are just not doing it for me, together with my husband, we do the Wim Hof breathing method. Wim Hof is I think, a Dutch athlete, and he has developed his own method of breathing, and it has been studied thoroughly. So it's not just some kind of mumbo jumbo stuff. You can find the research about it. So the basic technique is 30 to 40 deep breaths in and out, then hold on the exhale. So you do the deep inhales and exhales, and then on the last exhale, like you exhale all of the breath, all of the air that you've got, try to get rid of it all and hold there as long as possible until it starts to feel really, really uncomfortable. Hold the exhale, then do the long inhale again, and also again hold as long as possible. And then exhale again, calm down for a few minutes, and then repeat it 3 or 4 times. I'm not going to go deep into the method. You can find the information on YouTube. There are a lot of videos about it that will just show it better than I just did. But trust me when I say this, this is a great method when you've been stressed for a long time. I genuinely feel calmer and more grounded after doing this. So I think it works. It requires I'd say 15 minutes from you. So it's free and it only takes about 15 minutes and it helps a lot. So, section 3, dancing. This one might sound strange, but stay with me. When I need to release stress from my body, not to process it mentally and not to talk about it, not understand it, I put on headphones, find some music that really matches my energy or slightly exceeds it, like slightly exceeds how I'm feeling right now, and I move. Not like choreographed movement, not exercise, just movement. Whatever my body wants to do, big, small, ugly, free, nobody's watching. It's not a performance, just the body doing what it needs to do. to move the energy through and out. This is sometimes called somatic movement. The idea is that stress lives inside your body and not just inside your mind, and that you need to move your body and not just talk with words to release this stress. So moving really wildly helps a lot. So move as freely as you can. Do it in a closed room in your headphones, like put the volume up and just move like nobody's watching you, because literally nobody nobody does. Of course, talking about your problems helps, but sometimes you just need to get your body moving to release some of the stress that you've accumulated, and it helps even more than just simple talking. I promise you will feel different after this practice. So just give yourself, I don't know, 5 minutes. I just gave myself 5 minutes before filming this, and honestly, I'm in a different mood right now because I've just listened to a few songs and I've moved like very intensely, and it feels great afterwards. Section 4. Sinning. This is going to sound a little strange and also silly, but I swear this works. So the method is basically sing about your problems. So I don't mean sing some song that you know. I mean literally talk about your problems right now, about your issues, but in a singing, in a melodic way. For example, I'm really tired that something's okay. I'm not gonna do this right now, but you get it. Just imagine that you're talking to a friend, or you can even do this with someone who's close to you. Get it out of your chest. Anything that happens in a song doesn't count. You can say you can say anything that you feel. You can be mean. You can be like anything you want, whatever you have on your mind, sing it out and see how that goes. I know it sounds ridiculous, and it is ridiculous, but it really works. This way of not seriously explaining what you're feeling, it really shifts your perspective and the way you feel about it. So it stops being this horrible, serious problem that you have, and it starts to be this silly song that you do, and it works every time for me. Try it out. You'll either feel better from this technique, or you'll feel slightly silly from it, and maybe it will make you laugh, and that helps too. Tip 5. Journaling. Journaling is not a new idea, and I'm not going to pretend it is, but I want to say something specific about why it works for stress in particular. Stress lives partly in the mind as unprocessed thought, circular, repetitive, going nowhere, the same fears and worries cycling through on repeat. Journaling interrupts that cycle but externalizing it. So you take the thought out of your mind and you put it on paper, and suddenly it's a thing you're looking at rather than a thing that's happening to you. It doesn't need to be beautiful or organized or anything like that. A stream of consciousness works better than structure for stress specifically. Just write whatever is on your mind, all of it, as fast as it comes. Don't edit it. I know there is this author, Julia Cameron, who talks about her morning pages. It's 3 pages minimum of your stream of consciousness, and she does it in the morning. But for me personally, it's always been better to reflect on my day in the evening. So the calm, grounded evening mood that works better for me, and I try to couple it with some of the gratitude techniques also. So writing some specific things that I'm grateful for during this day or just in general. And I try to be particular, not just like thank you for being healthy. I'm trying to find some specific nice things, even the smallest things in your day that in my day that felt nice. So get the stress out of your head and onto the pages, onto the paper. Your nervous system shouldn't have to hold all of this information. The paper can hold it, and you'll just process it better if you write it down. Tip 6. Physical exercise. So the evidence on how helpful the physical exercise is, it's immense, and people already know about it, but I have to mention it because this is something that helps me for real. Physical exercise is one of the most effective stress regulation tools that exist. Not because it distracts you, but because it literally processes your hormones and all of that through physical action. It doesn't need to be intense. Walking counts, cycling counts, a 20-minute workout counts. What matters is consistency and not intensity. I ride my bike when it's summer and spring, I go to the gym when I have the energy. I walk a lot. So move your body every day if possible. This is not optional for stress management, it's the foundation everything else sits on. Tip 7, walking and talking with someone you love or someone you trust. Just a simple walk in the park or wherever can feel quite nice. And talking about something to get it off your chest and to talk about it helps to process your feelings and emotions. We do this quite a lot, and I think it's been a great help because I remember this winter when it's been really, really cold and we didn't walk as much. I felt like the tension is building up inside of me because we skipped our walks. There is something specific about the side by side nature of walking conversation that makes it different from face to face. The shared forward movement, the scenery changing, the body doing something, it makes honesty easier and intensity lower. Hard things are easier to say when you're both looking ahead rather than at each other. Find your person and walk with them. Talk or don't talk, just be in motion together. It really helps more than it should. Okay, this is going to be the most important part of this video and of all the tips that I've shared. Informational hygiene. I think it's the most underestimated factor in chronic stress, and people often resist talking about it or admitting that information that is poured onto us every day, that it affects them so much, because we tend to think that we are like this independent, I don't know, like thinkers, and nothing can influence us unless we let it. But the truth is that news media are designed in a way to be addictive. So there is always some breaking news, there is always some story that's going on, and the story keeps developing. So there is always something else that you need to know, or like, so they say. It all creates a dopamine loop that makes you come back for more information all the time. So you just keep interrupting your day and your own life to get this new piece of information that's often, or almost all of the time, it's not relevant to your life at all. So it feels like it's really relevant, like it's really important, because it's designed to feel that way. It's not necessarily really important. And believe me when I say this, I've stopped reading the news for months at some point, because in a country, when there is war, there is like so much information, and it all feels like you have to know it, like your survival depends on it. But it's not it's not always like that. So what you consume information wise affects us in the same body as the food that you consume affects your body. It affects your nervous system, the way it's regulated, and oftentimes it makes us more anxious and more stressed without us realizing that this is exactly the reason why we're feeling so stressed. Also, news are designed to make an emotional response. So fear, outrage, urgency, these are the emotions that drive engagement. A calm and measured account of what is happening, of some events, would not be as interesting to read or to watch, comparing to some breaking news, this scary title, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So no one would watch news if they would just boringly depict what's going on. That's why everyone has to try to make their piece of information more visible to you in this like world of information where there's so much going on. And also another thing about it is we don't always know who's behind this information, or what their interest is. Information can be designed to scare you, to exhaust you into passivity, to form your opinion, or to keep you compliant. Not all of information is like that, but some is, and without some significant media literacy, you can fall into the loop and not understand what's influencing your opinions, your judgment, your whole worldview. I've had periods during these last 4 years when I followed the news intensely, and periods when I stopped completely and didn't read, didn't watch anything at all. Like I blocked any channel of information that could give me news which I didn't want to get. And honestly, this latter period was way better. I still follow this advice and I try not to read news. And honestly, nothing has changed in terms like I haven't missed anything important. If there is something important, you will know. Trust me, you will find out from real people somewhere. They will tell you. If there is something like really, really urgent, you will definitely know. You cannot miss anything important. This whole like news thing, it's a scam. Most of the things we see in the news, they're just informational noise that doesn't really affect your life, or it affects it in a negative way, causing you to feel sad, angered, outraged, or scared, or anything in between. And I don't want to say be uninformed. I want to say choose your sources carefully, choose the times when you read your news or your information carefully. Do not start your day with the news. Do not finish your day with the news. So evenings and mornings are your time. Protect your energy during that time, because in the morning you have your whole day ahead of you, and don't ruin it by reading something unpleasant. And also in the evening, when you are trying to calm down and regulate your nervous system, also try to skip that, because it will not help you calm down. So try it for some time and you'll see that I'm right about this. So protect your nervous system from this informational environment, because no one else will do it for you. So long exhales, Wim Hof breathing, dancing, singing, journaling, physical exercise, walking with a friend and talking, and informational hygiene. These are the things that really help me fight a lot of stress and things outside of my control. It's a difficult world we live in, but if you take care of yourself, it gets way, way easier. So take care of your nervous system. It's carrying a lot. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.